Hey there guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. This is Chetan here from DullCube and I'm back again with a brand new After Effects tutorial. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys to create UI interaction animations completely in After Effects. It's going to be a pretty fun tutorial, a lot of things to learn. So without wasting any more time, let me show you what we're going to be creating and then we can cue the intro and get started. So that was the animation that we're going to be recreating. It's pretty simple, and a couple of things you need to know when you're creating motion graphics for these UI animations which you prepare in Photoshop, Sketch, Illustrator, or even Adobe XD. So there's a couple of things that you want to note, which I'm going to show you guys. So before we get started with the tutorial, if you guys want more tutorials like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content like this, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Now, the inspiration for this came from a person which I met on Instagram. So let me just open that up. All right, so he is WellGraf and he is a visual experience designer from Sweden, and he does a lot of UI stuff. Definitely go check it out, check him out. Link will be in the description. This was his most recent one with 442 views and 9 comments. So let's just play this once and see. Yeah, so basically this is how it works. And I'm going to show you how to recreate it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is prepare your UI designs. Now I have a Photoshop file which is free for download. You can go to the description and just download that for free and just follow the steps. Now you can obviously create your own or whatever it is in various softwares and render them out in the proper formats. But since I'm using Photoshop, it's going to be a little different for each software. So I'm going to just double click over here and I am going to open up, let's see, yeah, the UI animation. And this is what you're going to get. Now you want to make sure that the import kind is set to composition, and you want editable layer styles on. Now I think you can set it to footage as well, but that's up to you. Make sure you choose editable layer style and just go ahead and click on OK, and it's going to open up. Now if I double click on this, you see this is what we are going to get. So we have two ones. One is the Game of Thrones version, and then the other one is the Defenders version. And then we just have this this background. So I'm just going to call this left BG. So this is basically the white part. Let's go back. So the first thing you see is let's just take a debrief. The animation starts from the left and it just comes on like so. Okay, so for now I'm just going to hide both of this and we're going to go and jump into the Defenders composition that is right over here. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and just create a simple new white background. So let's go create a solid, make sure that it's white color so we can actually see the difference. Go ahead and click on OK, and we can place this down below. Okay, and that's okay. Now I'm going to hide the placeholders and the text where, and I'm going to focus only on this. All right, so on the 0 frame mark, I'm going to go to my animate this layer, and okay, this is going to be the picture. Okay, and what I'm going to do is press P on my keyboard to get the position properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. We're going to move 5 seconds forward. So press page down on your keyboard 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this keyframe. Just let's create some space over here so we can see. And just hold down Shift and move it so it snaps to the 5 frame mark. And we can move this over. Let's actually set this to 10 frames. So make sure this is on the 10 frame mark. Let's come back to the start of the timeline and then just select this and just move it over a little bit. Like so, not too much, just a little bit, teeny tiny bit. So what actually happens is this, okay, and we can select these two keyframes, right click keyframe assistant and choose easy in, and the shortcut is F9. So I can't press F9 because that's my stop record button. So it starts slowly and ends slowly. We can also select both of these keyframes, and we can come here to the graph editor and we can select this and then just move this over like so. So it starts fast and then it eventually slows down in the end. Let's just check that out, and I think that's pretty good. Maybe we can move this a little bit more to the right side. Okay, so I'm going to actually go set this to 20 frames. Yeah, okay, 20 frames is perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go and make sure that you have your picture layer selected. Come here to the pen tool, and we're going to zoom a little bit over here, and we're going to create a rectangle. So I'm going to click right over here, okay, and I'm going to click right over here, and then we're going to go and just close this up. All right, there we go. So now what actually has happened is if I move this, you can see there's a mask that is affecting the, which is masking the picture. So to give a really good effect, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and select both of these anchor points. So let's press M on the keyboard. We are going to go to the mask path. I'm going to create a keyframe right over here, which is on the first frame, and I'm going to select both of these anchor points and then just move them over like so. Okay, and we are going to go now to the 20th frame, which is over here, and I'm going to select those 2 points and then just move them out so it covers the entire scene, and these will be right here. Okay, so now let's just take a look at this. Okay, so we almost have a a nice animation that we are kind of looking for, but we're going to go and select these two, right click, choose keyframe assistant and choose easy ease, and you can go ahead and edit these graphs as well. Okay, and I'll strike that out. Okay, that looks good. So as you can see, it gives you this nice parallax style effect. Another thing we can do is we can take the text, this picture itself, press U to reveal all the keyframes, and we can select the one with the mask over here and then move these 5 frames forward. Okay, that's great. So the second part is the white part that comes on. So we are going to go and do that. So as you can see, it kind of gives this pan effect. Okay, so that's going to be pretty simple actually. So we are going to go and press Shift and the slash key to fit the document to the screen, and we are actually going to come over here and we're going to animate this over here. So we can just go ahead and delete this layer. We can come here to the main UI animation layer. Okay, so let's go and grab our pen tool. Let's go and create a mask like so. Okay, and we can go here and just close this up, press Shift and the slash key to fit to the screen, and maybe you can zoom back. Okay, so once the animation is over, so let's turn on the Defenders one. So the animation stops here at 20 frames, and probably from the 21st frame, what we can do is we can press M on the keyboard to get the mask properties, click to make a mask path. Let's move 20 frames forward again. So press page down on your keyboard twice by holding down the Shift key. We can move this. We can just click on this button to create another keyframe, and we can press J on our keyboard and K to move between keyframes. So we can move, so press J to come to this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and select these 2 points and then just move them in like so. And we can select this one and move these in like so. So we can select these 2, right click, keyframe assistant, choose easy ease, and let's go to the graph editor and just smooth them out. Let's just check that out. Okay, now that's pretty too fast. Okay, so maybe we can extend this to maybe 1 second. So we can come here to this keyframe, press Shift, press page down twice. So 1, 2, 3. And we can move this over here, and now let's try this. Okay, that looks way better. So let's see this from first. Brilliant. That looks brilliant. Okay, so the next one is the text animation, which should be pretty easy to do. So as you can see, we can start from these 2. Let's just see how that starts off. Okay, so what actually is happening is the animation reveals the text automatically. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go select this left BG layer, press Ctrl C, come here to the Defenders layer composition, and press Ctrl V to paste. Now I'm going to right click and choose this option called as guide layer, and that's going to create this this tic-tac-toe pattern. And what that is going to do is whatever is here, whatever is a guide layer in this composition is not going to be shown in this composition. So for example, if I switch off this left BG, even though my Defender's composition has the left BG layer on, but since it's a guide layer, I cannot see it in this composition. Rather, I can see it only in this composition. So that's something important to know when you're working with guide layers. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this back on. Okay, and there we go. So we're going to go ahead and open up the text. And let's actually go ahead and select all this, press Ctrl X and paste it over here, and we can delete this composition. We do not need that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and select these three objects. So if I turn this off, you see the top three parts. I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, or you can go to composition, layer, and choose pre-compose, Ctrl Shift C, and we can just call this top text and click on OK. Great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press M on the keyboard to get the left BG. I'm going to select this mask, press Ctrl C, make sure you're on the beginning of the timeline, come here to the top text and press Ctrl V. Now this is what happens if I play this. You see, okay, I think we messed up the keyframe, so press Ctrl U, or just press U on the keyboard. Let's move this up. Okay, we want to select these keyframes and then just move them up and align it with these keyframes. So what actually is happening is as I play forward, the white part gets revealed along with the top text. All right, so basically the same mask is being applied. All right, so the next one is let's see what happens. So animates on, okay, and then all the text starts coming up and the pictures start popping up one by one. So what I'm going to do, so I'm actually going to go and let's see once this animation is over, so probably somewhere around here. So that's 1 second and 10 frames. It's going to differ for you. Now these two, I'm going to pre-compose this by pressing Ctrl Shift C, and this is going to be watch now. Okay, and then we have the placeholders. Now let's actually go work on the placeholders for now, and it's going to be easier for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is we have this one. So okay, let's actually choose this one. Okay, we can move this on top. Okay, so I'm going to come here to the first frame, and I'm going to press P on my keyboard, hold down Shift and press T. So now I get two parameters. So one is the position and one is the opacity. I'm going to select both of this and just close this up. I'm going to move 10 seconds forward, 10 frames, I'm sorry. So hold down Shift and press page down once. And we are going to go select these two keyframes and then move them over. And then we're going to come here to the beginning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the position slightly down like so. So probably let's say 640. And the opacity is going to be set to 0. So now let's just hide all this and see only this. We can actually select these two, right click, keyframe assistant, choose easy ease, come into the graph editor, select this. You can zoom it a little bit. And then, oops. You can select this and then just move this over like so. We can select the opacity parameter also, and opacity, let's just keep it like that. We don't want to make any changes to that. And there you go. You see this nice fade in animation. Okay, that looks stunning. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go and hold down Shift and select both of these parameters, press copy. We can select all of these three and just press Ctrl V to paste. Make sure you are on the beginning of the timeline. And if I press U, you see all these, get attached. Now, as you can see, there is an offset. If I come over here and show you, there is an offset. So this appears, then this appears, and this appears. So we are going to go and do that. So this is going to be this one, and you just want to put them in the right order. Okay. And yeah, so I'm going to come here to the first one, the first frame. Let's say we move 4 frames forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, probably 10 frames forward. And then we can start moving all these. Okay, hold down Shift, press page down. We can select this, move this over here, press page down, and the last one over here. So we basically get an offset like so. And I think maybe 10 is too much. So probably around, let's say 7 or 7 seconds. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's try this now. Okay, that is way better. So we can come here to the defenders composition and we can turn on the placeholders. And this happens right in the beginning. So we want it to happen at the very end. Okay, so once this animation finishes up, okay, and we can move these placeholder to start over here. Okay, that is fantastic. All right, that looks super good. But we obviously want the word defenders to start again. So I'm just going to select the text defenders, come here to the beginning, press Ctrl V, and that's going to go ahead and just paste that up for us. There you go. And we can move this right over here. And let's check that out. Okay, now we want the placeholders to start a little bit later, so maybe 10 frames later, and we can move this up right over here. So let's just check this out. Awesome. Now maybe the word defenders is moving too high, so I'm gonna press P on my keyboard. Let's see. So the end is at 540, so maybe not 640, but let's just say 600. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, and we want to do the same thing for watch now also. So I'm going to select this, come here to the beginning, press Ctrl V, and we get our keyframes. Let's move over here to the end. So as soon as this is over, the placeholder animation is over, we can probably move this over here. Let's just check it out. All right, that's looking good. Now the defenders is done. Now we need to go and let's go to our UI animation. We can double click on the Game of Thrones and we basically have to repeat everything for the Game of Thrones. Now before we transition from the defenders to Game of Thrones, as you can see here, once the animation is over, everything kind of moves up. You know, all these elements, they just move up. And you know, this picture comes off from the right to the left. All right. So that's one thing we're going to take care of. Okay, so how are we going to achieve that? Pretty simple. I'm going to go and select this layer, which is the basically the Game of Thrones picture. I'm going to press Ctrl X. I'm going to come here to the UI, the animation, and you know, just press Ctrl V and paste it. Okay, so let's just hide this for now. So the animation kind of gets over here. And probably at 4 seconds mark, or probably 3:15. Let's keep it at 3:15. We can select Game of Thrones picture, press P on our keyboard, and make a keyframe. Move this 20 frames forward. So okay, and then make another keyframe. So we have 2 keyframes. Then press J to come back to the previous keyframe, and then move this over to the right, like so. Select this to right click. Keyframe assistant, choose easy ease, then we can select the graph editor and you know, just move this up like that, and there we go. Everything else also animates. Let's select these two, make a copy just by pressing Ctrl C. We can come here to the let's see, yeah, over here to the UI animation and press Ctrl V to paste it, and let's see how that looks. Okay, too many things going on, so what we are going to do is we are going to go and wait over here. Okay, and now we are going to go and move all this over to this side. So we obviously need to go to our composition settings, change this to 10 seconds, and there we go. Okay, so let's just take a small brief as to what's happening. So the defender comes, we have the text reveal 1, 2, and all this comes, and even the watch now. That's brilliant. And then now the Game of Thrones text comes in. Okay, but we want the defenders and the other text to just fade away. Okay, so at this part where the Game of Thrones picture is almost going to come, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and select the defenders composition, go into that, and we just want to collapse all the properties. So we have this. We can actually delete the left background again. And I'm going to do is I'm going to select the placeholders, defenders, and watch now text. make just pre-compose it and call this a left elements. Okay, there we go. And we can select it, press P and hold down shift and press T on our keyboard, and we can create 2 keyframes, move 10 seconds forward, and the opacity is going to be 0. But let's actually move this up a little bit. Okay, like so, and set the opacity to 0. We can select these two, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Okay, so and then it just fades away into dark. And now let's go to our UI animation and see what's happening. There we go. That looks so good. Right, so it kind of fades and comes into life at the same time, which is brilliant. Now we want to move the Game of Thrones text to appear before the placeholder. So the placeholders is probably going to be 5 frames forward. 1 2 3 4 5, and we're going to move this over like so, and let's just check it out. That looks brilliant. Now we want to select all this and just make sure that the background exceeds, and we are missing the watch button as well. Okay, we're gonna go to left elements and let's select the watch. Now just make a copy here, pressing Ctrl C, and we can come back to our UI animation, just press Ctrl V, and that's gonna place it up somewhere over here. Okay, and we can probably move this over here. Let's just check it out. Okay, that looks good. So now as you can see, we don't have the top text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to the top text composition, select these 3, press Ctrl C, come back to my UI animation, just paste it up on top. Okay, and we can just make this big. So now let's check it out. We can set the resolution to full, and let's make a ramp preview. All right, that looks super cool. Now one last thing we want to do is we can add in this gradient background kind of a thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go create a new composition, which is gonna be 1920, same properties, click on OK. And we're gonna go and take the UI animation, drop it into this, press S to scale it down like so. Let's go somewhere over here, and we can just move this over to the side here like so. Okay, and let's scale this up. Let's set it to 80. And we can move this up, and we can go right click, new, and choose a solid, and we can just go ahead and we can go and choose an effect called as gradient ramp, then double click on it to create a gradient ramp. All right, and the start color is going to be a yellow color, and then the end color is going to be somewhat of an orange color like so. I'll put this down, and the start ramp is going to be somewhere over here, and the end color is going to be over here probably. We can move this up to how much ever we want, and we can add in a drop shadow. So let's just go and add in a drop shadow, and we can place this on that. Okay, now as you can see, we can see a slight drop shadow. All right, so just play around with the settings till we get it. So that's pretty much it on how to create this cool UI interaction animation in After Effects. I hope you guys really like this. It's a very different tutorial that I've made from all the other previous tutorials. So thank you guys once again so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So till then, take care and bye-bye.